So very good evening to everyone. And on behalf of IAPEN India and IAPEN Community Nutrition Core Group, as the Chief Program Officer, I'm Shomendu. So sorry for the network glitch. So very good evening to everyone. On behalf of Community Nutrition Core Group, IAPEN India, so I welcomes you all to this national webinar, and I'm really privileged to have Professor Dr. Anindita Ray, ma'am, with us, and very own my mentor, my guide, and my teacher, and along with Soumam is with us. So I will just share the screen and to just introduce Soumam, and then sorry, just a second. Soumam, are you sharing by the any chance? Soumam, I am audible. Anyone can say, please.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
But I am unable to share the screen. Just a second.
Well, while both Shomendu and Shobham seem to be very busy with their slides because of me, of course, because COVID has taught us a lot of things, including technical glitch. So I think Shomam is
Ma'am, I am
sharing with
there.
Shomendu. Okay, okay, so
Yeah.
over to Shomendu.
So just to introduce Soumam, Soumam is now placed in Hyderabad, that is NIN, and he is a PhD scholar there. He holds the first gets gold medalist both in MSc and BSc from the Calcutta University, and he has many awards. And his research are very profound. His main area of interest is currently vitamin D. And Shomam, can you unmute yourself? Shomam, I want to welcome Shomam, and Shomam, if you can introduce ma'am. Ma'am, Shomam is there, or
I can't see Shomam. Maybe
ma'am,
doesn't matter. You can
mm,
introduce me. That's just
just
fine.
on behalf of Shomam, I'm introducing ma'am. So Dr. Anindita Chakravarti, ma'am, those who are from West Bengal, Calcutta. So everybody, ma'am, need no introduction. So ma'am is having a long year of experiences. Ma'am has ranked first class in both her his graduation, post graduation is the gold medalist, ranked first in the West Bengal College Service Commission examination. He has received many awards and publications, so I'm not going to each and every line of the introduction. And without any delay, because nutrigenomics is very important topic, so many of you are already practicing. So the food which is important for me, the food may not be important, or maybe is not okay for you because of your DNA. So I'm not going into the deep of the topic. Without any delay, I want to hand over the entire platform to Dr. Anindita ma'am. So ma'am, you can start your presentation. I'm just checking with Shomam by that time.
Yes.
Yes, so the
So,
entire problem is because of the participant limit. So even I was out of the
okay.
meeting.
So
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe that
just
was
one-
a problem with me as well. I don't know whether. But anyways, let's forget
Okay.
all the problems and let's start on with the topic. Showmendu has already introduced me, if if that is okay. But then obviously we will have some interactions and Shomam will help me in the process. I'm extremely proud, I would say, to be supported today by both of my students, very effective ones, and obviously the least said the better. So again, a very warm hello to all of you, having apologized again on my behalf and my technical problems. We will be decoding and hacking the nutrition codes. On a winter evening, it is always lovely to go on an adventure trip. So let's see if Shobham can share my first slide. I will show you three people. If Shobham can just share it. You can see three people on the screen if the screen has been shared, Shomam.
No, the screen has not yet been shared. So, mom, please check.
Yes. So I will
Take your
tell you the
time.
names. If it would have been a physical session, I would have asked you to raise your hands and tell me who the people are. So there will be three people. One is Hercules, the famous Hercules with his 10 tasks. There will be Bishamitra, and there will be Parashuram. So, can anyone tell me in the chat box maybe what is common to all three of these people? Anyone in the chat box, or maybe you can unmute yourself and tell me. Vishwamitra, Parashuram. Yes, they are all great warriors. Thank you, Sakshi Malik. They are all great warriors. One of them is a Brahmin, though. Anyone else? Okay, so let me go into the story. Shomam, you're having a problem with sharing the screen? Okay, now he's sharing it. Yes, yes, I can see it. So while you see the screen, and let me share the story with all of you, you might be aware of the story of Shottobhuti, or Satyavati as we call her, and Queen Ratna. Both of them were given potions to drink. Now, while the queen, no, the slide before where three people are shown. So when the potion they were given some potion to drink, and each of them actually exchanged their potion thinking the other one would have been better. So what happened was the Brahmin, as in the son of a Brahmin, became a Kshatriya, and the son of a Kshatriya became a Brahmin. These are stories, yes. But the people back then in ancient times, they did not have anything else but stories to share their science. So if we think of the change in the outcome after their mothers drank the potion, have you asked yourself why is it that a Brahmin son brought up in a typical environment changed his way of life, and whereas a Kshatriya became a sage? Similarly, Hercules was not supposed to be a warrior. He was not supposed to have those muscles like Hulk. So why is it that Hercules could perform those tasks? Yes, Hercules had drunk the milk of Hera, Hera, a very powerful goddess, and he developed those skills that might that made him perform those skills. So naturally, we can understand there must have been something in the milk of Hera that changed his genetic makeup. Yes, the people of the ancient world did not have the term omic study or nutrigenomics. So you can see the slide already on your screen where you can see the adventure that I was going to talk about. So each coil of the DNA, each coil actually actually they hold a story. You can see the genes. I wish I could point it out. I think Shomam can do it for me. You can see the codons. For the very young ones, the young students, I can see a lot of them. The three base pairs, they form a codon, and one after the other, the codons are arranged to get a total gene. Now, each gene can represent characters. I've put it very simply. Obviously, there is a lot more to it. And when the double helix gets coiled on the proteins, Shomam, the screen is not showing anymore. So if it is
She's
coiled
trying, sir. She's trying.
on the histone proteins. So that again changes how the genes work. So I will go back to what I said. The double helix gets coiled on the histone proteins, which again changes how the DNAs are expressed. I wish the colorful slide could be shown, but don't worry. I will share the slide to Shomendu, and Shomam already has it. They will be sharing it in the group if there is a group. So, the genetic code. I am going to talk about the codes. I'm going to talk about food not as a whole. I will request all of you to think about food as molecules. Uh, Let me see. If you had lunch, I wish I could ask any of you what lunch you had. Say maybe pulses, mixed veg, dal, a very healthy dish because we are all nutritionists or nutrition students or scholars. So let us talk about a very interesting and tasty and delicious dish. Now, do you think that mixed veg dal is just mixed veg dal? No, it is not. Let us think about each component. Yes, you can see the complex picture, but this complex picture, I will try to make it simple. So think about when that pulse, bowl of pulse, gets digested in your body. What do you get? You get small bits of amino acids. You get some chemicals, phytochemicals. Phyto means plant chemicals from the vegetables that are there. And these, if you can see on the right side, you can see the orange ball, that is the nutrient. That nutrient actually is received after being digested. It is received, it is taken to the nucleus, or its signal is taken to the nucleus, and the genes get altered somehow. Let's see how the genes get altered. We will go into the details. Before that, next slide, we will be talking about the study. For those, the name of the study that we are going to talk about is Nutri-Genomics. Shomam, the next slide, please. Nutri-Genomics and Nutri-Genetics. Now, Nutri-Genomics is the science. I know you all know it. But let's just go back to what we are going to talk about today. Nutrigenomics is when your diet, your nutrients, as I said, each molecule in the diet, those affect your genes. Just imagine, close your eyes and imagine a cell. The cell membrane has receptors like the door of your house. And when the nutrients enter, or maybe put on the calling bell, the signal, the bell sound goes in. Either the nutrients itself are carried inside, or the signal is carried inside and changes take place. So, do you think only the nutrients affect the genes? No, it is the other way around as well, as you can see. Nutrigenetics is the influence that genes have on how your nutrients are metabolized. As I go through the story of this adventure, as I said, on this winter evening, I'm sure it's very cold everywhere. We will warm up by thinking about how each food molecule actually changes something which we thought could not be changed. Yes, stories were there, but the terms nutrigenetics and nutrigenomics was not there. So we will study the science. The next slide, please. So it is a very complex relationship. Why? Because a nutrient and a gene interaction has to be very, very, what do I say, specific. There are several receptors, methyl groups, there are amino acids, there are lipids. Now, the dietitians, the people who are practicing clinical nutrition who are out there, I was really looking forward. In fact, we will take some questions if time permits about how they go into planning a diet, because precision nutrition we have all taken into account, but how precise can nutrition be? We will see how precise it is. So Shomam, the next slide, the slide is a very interesting one. and very close to my heart, the omics studies. So to divide the omics studies, omics, actually the technologies that are extensively studied, that helps us extensively to define these processes are the omics studies. So the first one, I'll keep it simple again because of students and scholars there. DNA has the information, the codes, the basic, the mystery. Now, RNA will unfold that mystery. The term transcription. So the omics study is transcriptomics. So mRNA will influence protein synthesis. That is again an omics study. Translation takes place and protein is produced. So proteomics. And then proteins carry out metabolism, metabolomics. So these omics studies at each point changes how you behave. Now you will ask me, ma'am, behavior, yes, behavior. You might feel very irritated one day. Do you think it is the food that causes it? Yes, it is. Because one of the factors, yes, is food. Maybe something that you have had in the morning for breakfast has been digested, metabolized, and created a chemical which has triggered your neurotransmitters in such a way that you have reacted in a particular manner which you would not otherwise have reacted in. Interesting. It is. I hope you are finding it interesting. Everything is connected to the world of food. It is a mysterious world. And as we go through the next slide, Shoma, as we go through this, I think you can see the four tenets of nutrigenomics. By tenets, I mean areas of activity. So what does nutrigenomics tell us? Now here is what dietitians, academicians, researchers have to think about. Yes, Shomam, thank you so much for pointing them out. Improper diets obviously are risk factors for diseases. By improper diets from today, after this session, I sincerely hope you will all think about it as diets which have improper things that change the way your genes inform us. So there are dietary chemicals. I'll talk about chemicals. By chemicals, again, I do not mean added chemicals. But things become more complicated when pesticide, insecticides are there, of course. So chemicals of food, chemicals added from outside, adulterants, additives, and so many more. So many things. So the degree to which the diet influences the balance between health and disease, again, is a person's genetic makeup. And some diets obviously regulate genes in very specific ways. We will come to that. Now, you all know that human beings, next slide, is almost 99% similar, as in the genes are similar. Obviously, we can't be exactly same, and that 1% difference is basically the single nucleotide changes, the polymorphism, as we call it. If you don't want to remember the word, just remember that there are changes in the single nucleotide which can give rise to diseases like, as you can see on your right, phenylketonuria, where a single mutation can change how the amino acid phenylalanine is metabolized. A lot of you have planned diets for young children, infants, children who have this kind of disease, or maybe those who have lactose intolerance. Have you ever imagined why suddenly you have become lactose intolerant? Lactose is not being digested in your body. Now, if I ask you who digests lactose, very simple, you will tell me an enzyme. And what is that enzyme? It is a protein. And who makes that protein? mRNA, taking information from DNA. So ultimately, it is the DNA and the DNA being influenced by nutrients and many other things. So let us talk about, yes, am I audible? Am
Yes,
I
ma'am, you
audible?
are audible.
Okay.
Clearly
Okay.
audible.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So coming on to the next slide, can you just change it? Yes. Thank you so much. So it is a, now how is it that genes are altered with the help of food? Now genes, suppose I am talking about, you can see on your slide on the left, you can see cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts being mentioned. Now, what are these? These are simple things, and it is winter. We obviously like to have a lot of vegetables and fruits. So, what happens is these are found to contain chemicals, molecules, phytochemicals that actually alter the way genes are expressed. I will give you the names of some chemicals, and even it has been shown that these can modify breast milk, the composition of breast milk. These are also complicated using gender changes. As you can see on your right, food metabolized in a different way in terms of gender modeling. I have highlighted all some of the things. I've not gone into the details. I understand that a lot of you are not from molecular biology background. So just to give you a glimpse into the world of food and how it is not just high carbohydrate, low calorie or high fiber. It is much, much more than that. So gender also influences how we change the way we have the outcome of food intake. So Shobham, the next slide, please. Very interesting one. Why interesting? Because you can see the chemicals. We all know that green tea has epicatechin, soy has genistein. I hope you can see the slide. If Shomam can just point it out. Grapes, resveratrol, all famous ones. And haldi, the season for marriages, has curcumin, of course. Now see the chemicals. I have shown you the chemicals. No, you don't have to remember the molecular structure. But what I wanted to point out was when you're having haldi now, don't think about it as a whole component. Think about it as curcumin or grapes as resveratrol or green tea as a component. So no one food, that is what I want to highlight, is good or bad. There are things in it which make it good. So when we are talking to our patients, when we are talking to our scholars, we will have to make sure that it is told to them in a very specific manner. So the question is green tea good? I cannot say whether it's good or bad. We would have to tell them that it will be good if we get maximum epicatechin from it. Now, how to get best possible epicatechin amount from it? Obviously, there are research papers. Please go through it. The exact temperature is also mentioned where epicatechin does not break down. So hot water, how much more hot it should be, obviously is left for you to find out. As I said, we have some mysteries. We will unravel some, keep some for you to find out. And on the right, you can see how folic acid, Shomam can point it out, how folic acid changes the nature of homocysteine methionine interconversion. Methionine obviously is an essential amino acid, and the change is only in one methyl group, just one methyl group, which is donated by folic acid B12 in unison together. So, if you're not having folic acid, somewhere down the line, maybe your amino acid metabolism is not working properly. There must be. So, we don't think it of in this manner. Folic acid for pregnant women, we all know. But why? Why is the question? And when you're talking to patients, make sure you tell them why in a simple manner so that they can understand the importance and just not take nutrition as food only. So that is what we are here today for. I'm sure all of us have pledged that we will change how nutrition is looked at by people in our country and everywhere else. So you can see how dietary factors like vitamin B12, folic acid change the way we metabolize amino acids and other food items. Next one, Shomam, please. What about breast milk? I promised at the very beginning in the confusion of PPTs that I will be talking about breast milk. Yes, breast milk is not called the first food, nature's gift, just like that. Not only because it is the first interaction between a mother and a child, it is much more. Nature has planned it in such a way that it contains things like PUFAs, certain PUFAs, which can regulate the genetic makeup of a child. You can see peroxisome proliferating factors, PPAR. Okay, you don't have to remember the names. You can see SREB, that is the sterol regulating factors. These can regulate the various genes that are expressed. So breast milk, the lipids in breast milk, some of the proteins you can see they are encoding for desaturase enzymes, which help in production of good lipids in an infant. A child born into an environment full of pollution, an infant born into a world where so much of microorganisms are attacking, who will protect it? Yes, the answer we always knew. But here you can see the flow chart of the many genes that are affected through milk fats. I've just shown the milk fats. Shomam can just point out the flow chart. I'm sure all of you can see it as well. So many different varieties of genes. I will not go into the details of each gene, but there is interaction reported. If you're interested, please look it up. That genes being affected by different mufas, and how beautifully these are expressed. I agree there are other factors. I agree there are environmental factors, pollution, but are they in our hands? No. Just one thing we have: food. Nutritionists have food in their hand to change all this. So going into vitamin D, the area that Shomam is working on. So I think Shomam will agree with me that the next slide, please, that vitamin D is produced at a wavelength of 290 to 320 nanometers. If I'm not wrong, Shoma, maybe there are some changes. You can help me in that. So vitamin D is activated in the liver, the kidney, and you can see the enzymes, the CYP24, the CYP22R1, all these. What are these? Proteins. And these proteins on the right side, you can see how genes actually regulate these. Vitamin D is no longer known as a nutrient. It is not. Yes, it's just that people used to believe that vitamin D was a nutrient, but we have ample proof to show that most vitamins, not only vitamin D, most vitamins act like transcription factors, regulating factors. So they can regulate how we go about expressing the genes. So nutrigenomics and nutrigenetics, vitamin D influencing genes and genes influencing how vitamin D is activated. So the entire cycle, the code hidden in the DNA that you see on your slide. The next one, I am just giving you a glimpse of everything that is going on inside your body. The next one, please, is zinc. Zinc plays three roles: catalytic, regulatory, and structural roles. All very important in regulating genes. If any of you are aware, we have zinc fingers that mainly regulate the DNA expression by a complex mechanism. The mechanism is not important because we are not geneticists. But what is important is that without zinc, neither the DNA will act, particular sets of codons will not be expressed. Without zinc, a very well-known hormone will not function. I'm sure all of you know. Insulin, yes. Insulin, the central atom is zinc. So coming to some of the, yes, Shomam, the next one. You can see the genes that are related to obesity. You can see how ADPOQ is related to the obesity, which is becoming a curse in our country, double burden of malnutrition, we all know. And the burden is mostly shifting towards overweight. And as I said, please don't say low fiber diet. Please don't say high fat diet. Which fiber? Which fat? What type? These are of utmost importance when we are planning precision nutrition. And coming to the some of the diseases, show mom the next one, please. Some of the diseases that we are going to talk about. Just some highlights. I know I'm running out of time, maybe. So, nutrigenomics, the complex interaction on the right side of your screen. Nutrients, food, food groups as a whole. The food group has some characteristic features. The dietary patterns when you are having food is very are the suppose you are suggesting parsley. Is there a problem somewhere? Uh, I'll
No,
continue, Shobha.
no, ma'am. Yes,
I'll
ma'am.
continue. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So parsley, celery, different herbs. Keep adding them in food. Yes, we cannot just extract the chemical. We cannot just take out apigenin and add it to food. We can't do that. So we will have to add the entire food and make it possible for us, our body, to absorb it as much as possible and let genes decide what to do about it. So diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and other lifestyle diseases, all regulated using these phytochemicals. So we know about this, you talk about this. But when we come down to the food, talk about the molecules. Don't talk about the entire food. Learn about the molecules because that is going to help us find out the pathway and the exact way it is done. The next one, please. Yes, to sum up, I'm almost at the end of my lecture because I've already delayed you enough. So nutrigenomics and nutrigenomics, the nutrigenetics, the two balance of the two sides of the balance that can regulate everything, as I said. The next one, there are some disadvantages, of course. With every pro comes some cons. So we just don't think about other modifiable risk factors that I was saying. But if you ask me, I would say, what's the point in thinking about other modifiable things when we can't change them? Can we change pollution? We can't. Can we change stress? No, we can't. What can we change? The food on your plate. So that is extremely important. And benefits, obviously, the long list of benefits. And I will assure you, the next one, that we have genetic profiling ready that you can use. Shomam, the next one, please. Genetic profiling is available. I am in the hope, like I have certain dreams for my students, the future, who are the future of clinical nutrition, dietetics, and food science, that all your chambers, the hospitals would have genetic profiling. And when you get that, you would understand it's like a fingerprint. When you put that on a paper, it is just yours. Exactly so. The genetic profiling will tell you exactly how much of what to eat, to consume. That is going to change the picture of lifestyle diseases in India. That is my belief. I sincerely hope that this takes place, and I'm sure most of the young people here would want to take it up in that manner. So, nutrigenomics testing does work. It is not invasive. It is just from a simple saliva or maybe a piece of hair. It is very, very easy. It is expensive now, I totally agree, but it will not be expensive maybe down the line. So the next one, it is not impossible. The next slide, just two more. It is not impossible. As I said, it is the future of diet. It has to be. You must remember that when you take a medicine, for some of it, it works, for some it does not. So a high fiber diet will not work for everybody. A particular type of protein will not work for everybody. You are unique. Treat yourself as unique, treat your patients as unique, and that has to be the future. Next one, please. So, just to leave you with some difficult words, these are all genes. You can see the foods, the polyphenols, the minor dietary components, which can actually change or affect one affects the other, nutrigenomics and nutrigenome genetics. The next one. So for the future generation, we will have to be very careful even before the child is born, as the Dutch famine cohort studies have shown that a mother has to be careful, a father has to be careful as what you are eating, because what you are eating will affect the future of the next generation of human beings. So finally, the last slide, Shomam, please. Uh, Genes make you what you are. That is, of course, out of our control. Now we know that it is in our control, but your lifestyle can change it all, and diet definitely plays the most important role. So thank you so much for a very patient hearing. Today was a difficult day. I have a very bad cold and I had a very bad experience with Google Meet today. But over to the organizers. I'm sorry once more.
Thank you. Over to Soumam. Soumam, please
Yes,
take the
ma'am. So
proceed.
it was a fascinating lecture, ma'am. Very enriching. We got to know so many new points as usual. And like you were the best at simplifying complex ideas. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes,
Yes,
I
you are
can hear
audible.
you.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm little bit sad because I couldn't introduce Anindita ma'am. Of course, she doesn't need
And we
any.
have missed the first slide also. We missed
Yeah,
that 3%.
ma'am doesn't need
That you
any
can show at
introduction
the
for
end.
sure, but it's always a pleasure to read out her CV and to introduce her to everyone. Anyways, I have lot of questions in my mind. I'll be asking. We just have, I think, 5 to 10 minutes left. But
Yes, yes, we
before
have.
that, I'll ask request the participants to share their doubts, if any.
Ishita, they have
Hi,
shared.
may I go ahead?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
please do.
So first of all, ma'am, it was a really nice lecture. Like it was
Thank
so
you so
nice
much.
listening to you. So I have a question. Like as a dietitian, what difference will be in our process of making diet plans in terms of nutrigenomics and in terms of traditional diet? Like for traditional diets, we'll do the ABCD assessment, then we'll make the exchange list and plan the diet. So, what are the different additional steps that we will be making in nutrigenomic process?
Good evening. Is this Kunika? If I'm getting the name right.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are from
I'm from
Kolkata?
Mumbai,
Oh,
Maharashtra.
you're from Mumbai. Great. Fantastic. So, diet scene, there is it's really fantastic. I know you all are working round the clock to bring a change. What I would suggest is if you have the traditional diet is what you've already said. Yes. And as I said, that we cannot tell people to have hesperidin in the diet or whatever. We cannot specify the phytochemicals. But what we can do is if you get genetic profiling done, which I think there are various organizations which are doing it. They are approaching dietitians. So if you have one in your chamber or the hospital, so if you get the makeup, the ABC of nutritional status, yes. If you get the ABCD of the patient, the internal ABCD through genes, you can actually tell the person the type of diet. You will actually modify it, right? And when you get the information much better, your diet is going to work much better. You will get drug interactions. It is very difficult for a dietitian to understand the kind of drugs. Most of the time you don't even get the values reported by patients, right? So if we can get the medicines and if we can get the interactions, it is much easier for you to it will be easier for you to suggest the diet, Kunika. So I think it will, obviously knowledge will be your weapon. So if you get to know that this type of genes will have this type of diet and this type of they are prone to this type of disease, you can obviously prevent, stop, and progression will be much slower and your diet will work better. So get back to me and let me know uh, whether you are getting some information regarding this. Really looking forward.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. And are there any reading materials, books, or research papers you will suggest?
Lots, Kunika, lots. So if you can get back to me, I think I can share a lot of journals, papers. If you're up to it for reading, I am the best person because I love to share all this with students. I'm taking it that
I'm
you're much,
sharing
much.
Excuse me, ma'am.
ma'am's
Excuse me,
email
ma'am.
ID.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am. Could you
Good
please
evening.
share all
Yeah,
these things in group also so that we
uh,
also get benefit out of this to
sure.
write
But
in
which
book, to
group
write
is
in
this?
paper?
Which group is this, Shomendu? I don't know about.
No,
IAPN,
they
ma'am.
are
Yes, I think
life member group.
IAPN.
So I
From
life member
from
group, we do not have
from that
access.
we
So
get the link about webinar also. So please, ma'am, could you please
okay.
share all these things
I
for us
will. I
also?
will. There are lots. If I start sending
Actually,
you,
there are 10, 12 life member group, ma'am.
Okay.
So if you share me personally, I will share to the EC member. They will share in the life member
Ma'am,
group.
please
We
do
do
it,
not
ma'am,
have the
because
access.
I promise.
today I
I
like
promise.
your lecture a lot because
Thank you.
मैंने क्लास अटेंड
Thank
से
you so
थोड़ा
much.
टाइम छूट जाता है तो नई चीजें पता चलती है मैम. इट्स अ वेरी
Thank you so much.
मैम बहुत अच्छा
An-
लेक्चर था मैम ये. Thank you
Anjali
so much.
ji, you please
much
check the
for
chat
your
box. I have
question.
shared email ID of ma'am. You can
Okay,
send her email also. Okay.
okay,
Please.
please. Okay, thank
I
you.
think we have one more question in the chat box. Is there any genetic impression of regular diet like infection, impression on genetic profile? I think sir is asking about infection, diet, and gene interactions, if any.
Yes. Yes, there is. Who is this? Shomam, can I get the name?
Anup, sir.
Anup sir. Okay.
Anup, sir,
So
yes.
good evening, sir. What I would like to say is I did not keep another slide, which I really wanted to, but time was running out. Um, the gut microbiome, the microorganisms, they have a huge role to play, huge. And any infection alters your metabolism, will alter the way your diet is digested, and definitely will affect your genes. But having said this, the duration of the infection is very important and the severity is very important. If it is if it's a very, it's a mild fever, a virus attack should not, obviously, COVID virus did, SARS-CoV did change the way we have metabolized our diet, the way we have changed a lot of things have happened. I'll not go into that. So infection does. The answer to your question is yes, it does. And there are complex interactions also with the gut microbiome. It is there. So when we talk about dahi, curd, yogurt, we should not only talk about lactic acid of the curd. We should also talk about the bacteria, the lactobacillus, and the others that make changes in our gut microbiome, which will alter the gene pattern. Definitely, we should.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for clarifying. I think there is one more question, but you have already discussed these points. It's regarding again gene diet interactions, and as you have correctly highlighted that it's not just about the genetic makeup, it's also about the entire environment. So that's how we Now we are now
Two,
talking
three
about the
people.
envirome, not just the genome. It's all about the envirome.
It
So
is. It is.
Two, three
I
people
I
have raised hand.
I
If you can, acha, Shomam, can we
yeah
take,
I
because
as
I am
I said
extending
that
the time. People
hmm,
are so excited about the session, and people from outside West Bengal. Shakshi Malik and Nisa Sharma, can you, and Ankita, just,
Yes.
yes.
So,
uh,
ma'am, actually, good evening. Actually, I work this type of organization which run the integrated approach of diet, herbs, homeopathy, and nitrogenomics. But after getting the nitrogenomics reports, we are not supposed to guide the diet plan. It always supposed to guide the senior person. So, is there any particular course that can I do, and I myself I can guide the patient or clients?
Yes, the Ms. Nisha ji, I think there are a lot of courses, but it has to be from an authentic source, the source that will actually teach you how to go about it. There are lots of courses. I think Espen also had a course a few days back, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I am
Okay.
wrong, but lot of organizations do get yourselves updated, because you see, we also keep updating ourselves. It's just that I'm a assistant professor in college, and sharing. I would really love to share the kind of research that we do to with the dietitians. This gap should not be there. We are all from the nutrition fraternity, and I know Shomendu and Shomam, both of them believe that this gap should not be there. So I think please get a lot of courses are there, but your organization, you need to talk to your organization and tell them that dietitians also know nutrigenomics actually. So best wishes for that, and next time when we meet virtually or physically, I'm sure you will be telling me, ma'am, I'm doing the diet plan with nutrigenomics.
Okay, thank you,
Best wishes.
ma'am. Very good
Best
session.
wishes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I can
Uh,
see two more hands raised. So Sakshi ma'am, you can.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you for the information. I want to know
Hello.
about nutrigenomic in cancer. Actually, I have my thesis in head and neck cancer already, and I want to sort of expand the knowledge towards that. And talking about the courses, I wanted to ask as well. There are a lot of courses
Lot of
these days,
courses.
and a lot of places that sort of make you a counselor in set month in 3 weeks. So, do you can you suggest one, because I've seen that
Uh,
I have
I will.
wasted
I
my
will.
money
Yes,
also.
Lot of.
I think, ma'am, from this platform, we cannot endorse any
It is
course
better not to, but
specifically.
Sakshi,
Yes.
I'll call you Sakshi. I hope you don't mind.
Yes,
You're
yes,
much younger
definitely.
to me, much younger to me, I think. So,
Yeah.
Sakshi, I think I will get back to you if you just send me a text or something. And what I would say is, cancer is a very complicated topic that you have chosen, you see. And there are a lot of genes. If it's a, see, cancers are of various kinds. And even one type, say, I'll just give you an example of breast cancer that also has several genes that influence it. So it is very complicated. And I think my suggestion, because I have worked on cancer myself during my PhD days, and I have no shame to tell you that we failed miserably because we didn't have the proper infrastructure back then. But I'm sure it's much better now, and if you could just narrow it down to one gene, I think that would help you to have a better outcome. When we were handling, there were a lot of genes and we didn't know what to do about it. A doctor was helping us, but as I said, we failed. I hope you would not fail. Narrow it down to one or two genes and then see the interactions. It is very complex.
Sure. Thank you. Sure,
Extremely complex.
definitely.
I think we can take one more question from Ankita Dash. She's
Ankita, yes.
already running late.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anindita ma'am, thank you. It's always pleasure to listen to you. I always search for your name wherever it is there. I run to attend, may it be online or offline. So, ma'am, my question is,
Such a pleasure.
nowadays we are getting many patients for PCOS. They are teenager. They are starting their menarche from 19 years as well.
Yes.
So, my query is, from which age we can start doing the diagnosis for the genes where the weight loss is not happening in the trendy way, the traditional weight loss, the normal diet plan.
for the PCOS cases, right?
Yes, ma'am. My query
Okay.
is for which age we can start doing the diagnosis
See,
specifically for the genes.
I would see you. First of all, you need permission from the parents. That is there because we just can't refer to a young person who's not an adult. We cannot just say get your genes checked. We need permission. I think 10 years is the cutoff now. There are research papers which suggest, in fact, in Western world, it is younger, much younger, because they are somehow more exposed to all sorts of influences which lead to more of these conditions. In India, it was a bit better, but now it has become very bad. And it is not only the food, it is also a lot of hormonal influence. If I can, this is, I will not be able to finish it if I go on into the changes in the hormonal pattern. And it is not food alone. It is the social media influence that has come in. You will be amazed to see the papers, how social media has influenced the coming the change in the menarche pattern. So that is amazing. But yes, having said this, your question, to answer your question, I would say 10 years is good if the parents allow. If not, the cutoff should be 15 years. But get the child tested. It is the need of the hour. It is the need of the hour.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. That is the reason I raised the query. And my
Yes,
request will be
thank you so
to,
much for the question.
yes, ma'am.
Really, really, people should know about this.
Yes, my query is for the core people, core team members of IPEN to introduce this nutrigenomics in triple L courses or something like that, so that we can get the information from the IPEN and get the information from the seniors like Anindita ma'am and everyone else is there. Thank you. Thank
True,
you so
true,
much,
very
ma'am.
true. We
Thank
will.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Thank you, ma'am, again for clarifying all the doubts. I just have one question as of now. It's regarding the cost effectiveness of these tests at the clinic level. Obviously,
I have also asked this question, ma'am, to several times. Yes.
Yes.
one thing what I feel is that these tests are not so routinely performed, so that's why the cost goes up. If we if we commonly prescribe it, then again the cost will come down. But overall, what do you think? How feasible it is for Indian settings?
Shomam, as I said during the lecture, that it is very expensive. But my dream is to see every chamber having all this because I come across a lot of people. I think I was sharing it with you that day. No, I don't know who it was, but there's an IIT professor, my relative, who has designed an MRI machine which is to be kept at which can be kept at the house level, household level. Mind you, MRI machine, which was so big, has been modified, and you will hear it. Actually, it came out in the papers. IIT Kharagpur has collaborated with him, and they are designing MRI machines which are small. So anyone and everyone can do it. It will be affordable. Exactly in that manner. If I can just say that there will be machines like maybe the glucometer or the blood pressure measuring machine that can you just put your saliva or maybe just a prick or anything that will get your genetic pattern done. I'm sure it will come out. I'm sure it will. People are working on it so that you will get to know, like your Aadhaar card or your passport, you will have your genetic code with you. I think it is possible.
Exactly. So health and therapy treatments should be equitable. There should be equity, definitely. Otherwise, only the rich people will be getting the benefits of
Yes. No,
nutrigenomics.
we
And
don't want that.
this will
We
not,
don't want that.
yeah, we don't want that kind of a future. Correctly said, ma'am. So I think all's well that ends well. And uh, I'll request participants to switch on their videos so that we can take some screenshots for our social media pages.
So by that time, I would like to thank you each and everyone, especially Dr. Anindita ma'am, for giving me this time. Within 2-3 days, she has given in this time, and this especially winter time, this holiday mood and everything she has given, and people have enjoyed a lot. So thoroughly they have enjoyed. So if you want, if you request IPN, we can keep series of program. At
Exactly.
least quarterly or 2 months once we can keep this kind of this is a topic is very new and many things to learn from this topic. I would like to thank Ranu ma'am, who is the founder of the community core group, for giving me the permission within a very few days, and Lekha ma'am, who is our secretary, Shiv Shankar sir, who is the national president, and all our EC members, our Kolkata chapters as well has cooperated, Shita ma'am, Shudeshna ma'am, everybody, and obviously our lovely audiences. And Soumam, special thanks to you that you have given me this time.
It was a
So we are
privilege
coming.
and honor, and I'm really thankful to you and to the core group for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And before anything else, I would really like to say thank you, Soumam, for helping me out all through. I was really looking forward to your introduction, but anyway, we'll have it some other time, some other
Yes, sure.
webinar. But Soumam also has done a fantastic job. Thank you,
No,
Soumam,
I
for
was literally confused at that time. We were
I
running
was,
out of
yes.
time, and
But yes,
we
thank you
cannot
so much.
run according to our plans. Yeah.
Really an honor to be here today. And thank you for patient hearing. Thank
This
you
is,
all.
ma'am,
Thank you so much.
privilege that all over India, people from all over India, within a very short span of time, this link is being shared in all the live member group, I think after 7 p.m. Then also, so if we plan properly, maybe
Yes.
400, 500 people can join. So in Zoom meeting, because this is a
I don't know
restricted
why
Google Meet.
it was really strange because Shobham, Shomidu, both of you know this has never happened. Never,
This has
ever in
never
my
happened.
entire
Yes,
life.
because many
So I thought
participants were trying to join at the
maybe that
same
was a
time,
network
and
error or
the
something.
time
Maybe.
limit
But
was, yeah, the participant
Thank you,
limit
everyone.
was over.
sorry
Yeah.
for bothering both of you. I'm really,
No, no.
really
No,
sorry.
no, it's okay. Okay, thank you, thank you. Good night.
Thank you so
Good
much.
night,
And good
everyone.
night. Good
Good
night.
night. Good night,
Thank you
everyone.
so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. A pleasure. Always a pleasure.